Hello everyone, this is Usma Job Wali. Welcome to all of you in my The Remote Job Show. Today I have a very talented Allyson from USA, and she is doing a lot of things, and I want to listen her journey, and I want that mostly my audience is females, and they are very much excited and waiting for you to learn from you how you have started your journey. So as you have to give another interview, so I want to just start about your I want to know about your journey, that how you have started it, and before marriage I want to know that how you have started before marriage, and then towards mother of 11 children, and now you are working as a profession as well.
Well, thank you, first of all, for allowing me to be on your amazing show. And it's a truly a privilege. And it's my favorite thing to do is to chat and interact with women, girls, ladies of all ages. And women are truly God's secret weapon in the earth. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm just saying that the emergence of women and their gifts and the things that they're contributing to society now is just amazing. I'm 62 years old, so I have seen the rise of women in this world. When I was a little girl, women in the U.S. couldn't have a bank account without a man. They couldn't have a credit card. They really were very limited in so many ways. And so again, it's such a privilege to be on this show with you, and maybe together we can inspire the ladies to do more, because women are an endless on the inside, what they can contribute. But you asked me about my journey as a mother. I have 11 children, and I personally gave birth to all of them with one man. And I had 9 girls and 2 boys, and I really wasn't planning on having maybe 1 or 2, but sometimes God writes his plan differently than our plan, and I was willing to go with him on this journey. And uh, it's I hear a lot of women saying, I'm just a mom. And I think that's a really bad thing to say, because mothers are truly that's my most important job, and it always will be. And it's a job that never ends. Just because they're 18 and they leave the house, our job as mothers is truly the most important job. And so I never want a woman to I was a stay-at-home mother for 20 years. So, and I didn't have the money to do it, and so it was a struggle. But I really felt like that investing in my kids would pay off, and truly it has. And so, first of all, a big shout and pat on the back to the women who are mothers. That you're doing it all. Uh, Raising a large family is difficult but fun. I would find that the difficulty is when they become teenagers. I think teenagers are the same around the world. Some of them can get a little bit independent, and it really, I think, as a mother, made me more patient in many ways. And I had to learn to pick my battles with my kids. But there comes a point as they get older, they they begin to respect you again. So I would say this is a little bit challenging, but I also think that it's very rewarding. There's nothing more fulfilling than feeding your family and being around the table and enjoying each other.
Thank you so much. Okay, as you told that you have a very large family, mostly the females, those who have only 2 or 3 children, like I have 3 kids, and I'm all the time when I'm working, I feel I have a guilty that my kids are getting ignored and I'm not giving them too much time. So how you have managed like these kids, and have you never feel that you are ignoring them, or are you giving them proper attention, or never your kids told you that they are getting ignored?
I'm glad you asked that question, because we need to be honest about that. I always feel guilty. I always feel like I'm not giving them enough time. And I was a stay-at-home mother for a long time. There was just a feeling of, as a mom, that we're just not doing enough for our kids. And I wish that I could shake that off. And even as they've gotten older, I daily think, oh, I should be going to their house and doing this or helping with that. But we're just one person, and there's only so much we can give in a day. And so I just try to actually individualize. Like last night, I had dinner with one of my daughters, and it was her time with just me. And then maybe I went with coffee with another. And it's not the amount of time I'm spending with them now, it's focused. They want all of my attention right now when they're in front of me, and they don't want to share. And so I've learned that this is what they love. And I can't get to all of them all the time, but I try. And maybe a phone call, a text to encourage them in what they're going through. And I'm always just there for them. If they have, they all go through problems. They're human beings, just like you and me. And so, again, I wish that I could tell you that one day the guilty feeling leaves. But for me, I think I'll always have it because I want to be the best mother I can be.
Okay, that's lovely. So, when it comes in your mind that you have to do something, like mostly the females, when they are raising their kids, they don't have in their mind that they have to do something. Like, from who you get inspired so much that you have decided, now I have to start my career as well. So what was that point exactly?
I'm glad you asked. When you're raising your children, for me, women can do it all. We just sometimes can't do it all at the same time. And so sometimes women live in chapters. They do this first for a few years, and then they get their career. Maybe they do their education, then their career, then they get married and have kids. Or like me, maybe they do their marriage first and have children first. So, everybody's different, but I think that is the challenge. And so when I was 48 years old, I woke up one day and I said, wow, who am I? Like, I have lost myself, my identity, my gifts that God's given me. That I've been raising my kids, and I forgot about me. And I wondered if there was hope for me. Like, was there something more I could do? Could I make a contribution to this planet, to the world? Could I was hungry to do my thing. And I knew that the first thing that I had to do was get educated. At 48 years old, I had a high school education. So, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but I felt this was my strategy to elevate myself enough and bring confidence to myself so that God would open doors for me to do greater things, not only for my family, but for the rest of the world. And I longed for that. So I got my bachelor's degree at a local university. And again, I didn't have any money to do it. But the one thing I could control was knew I could work hard. I didn't even have money for a laptop. So I just wrote it down on paper during class, the notes. And then I felt like, you know what? I feel like I want to go to Harvard to get my master's. And Harvard to me was like, I didn't even feel worthy to make the phone call. I didn't. I was shaking when I made a phone call to see what it would take to be admitted to their program. So, and I decided this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try. And I didn't have the money, like I said. I had 7 kids at home. I didn't feel like I was intelligent. And on top of that, Harvard was over 2,000 kilometers from my house. How do you do it? And but I received a scholarship that paid for everything. And one of my professors said, you should fly back and forth every week. Take your classes on one day, fly in, take your classes, fly back the next day. And I thought, how am I going to pay for that? But I received a scholarship. It paid for my airfare, my tuition, my books. It was unbelievable. And I was pinching myself every time I put my foot on that beautiful university. And I graduated in 2016 from Harvard with my master's in international relations. And I really focused in and studied on NASA and our US space program. And, you know, after that, the doors just began to open and my dreams are coming true. It wasn't the dream of having a bigger house or a nicer car or a Gucci purse. That wasn't my goal. My goal was I wanted to do more worldwide. And, you know, and I am. And I have traveled the world. I have been on every continent in the last, you know, 5 or 6 years as a keynote speaker or doing space technology work for different countries. And I just can't believe it, honestly. And the thing is, I believe every woman can do it. I don't think I'm anything special. In fact, I'm not. I was a housewife with no hope. And so I just want everybody to know that if I can do it, and I was in a bad place in my finances, in my marriage, and I was depressed. I couldn't get out of bed. You know, that's how I felt when I started. I was a nobody with nowhere, nothing happening. And so just say that if truly, if this can happen for me, it's truly can happen for you.
That's great. You are saying right that it's very difficult to start your profession as a housewife, and you did a lot of effort. And you know that mostly the housewives, they are not mentally strong. They have not the decision power, especially in our culture. They are very weak, mentally very weak. They are unable to take any decision by their own. So, what do you think that how mentorship is important? Like, females, do they should they have some mentor, and do you have some mentor who has guided you, who has motivated you? So tell us about the importance of mentorship for females.
I can't stress enough how important, and I am where I am today because of people that came in my life as I stepped forward to try to do more. You know, a professor at Harvard who was a woman told me one day, Allyson, you need to go into the space industry. This is what you need to do. And I'm thinking, me? And she just kept sticking with me as a mentor and saying and believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. There is a saying, a Chinese proverb that says, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And it's so true as we step forward. And another thing is, I didn't originally, before I was educated, didn't have the money to, or even have the contacts to meet a mentor. So I began to read biographies of famous people, people who did the impossible, U.S. presidents, Albert Einstein, people that just didn't have anything, but they wouldn't quit, and they achieved their goals. And you know, just reading these stories, if you can read books, or it is a mentor in itself. YouTube, I use it every day to inspire myself, studying other people's lives, and even most recently yesterday studying the successful landing on the moon with India. I mean, they failed last time, and now look what they've done. To me, that's even mentorship, to watch, to study what other people have done. And then as you go through life, you'll find people that come across your path that have something to offer you, and take it and listen to them and learn and grow and let them push you out of your comfort zone, because there's so much more to life, that I think the life we're living each day.
Yes, and now as with the advent of technology, now we are very, comfortable to talk to anyone, and we can reach to everywhere all around the world, and we can find the mentors all around the world. We can find the people, those who are like-minded, and now we have the great opportunity through technology that we can interact with everyone we want. Before that, we were only, as a housewife, we were just in our houses, and we don't know how to talk to anyone. Now we have a great opportunity and you are saying, right, that now we can read the stories and we can, get inspired from so many people, like you just told that yesterday's that is a great, achievement by India. So in this way, we can learn a lot from different stories. So now my next question is that as you are working as a humanitarian for females and children, so what are your initiatives that you took, or what are you doing for them to uplift their careers so that they would be, be a better human and they can do something in their life?
Well, first of all, just allowing me to be on this broadcast, I smile bigger. I'm so much happier when I'm talking to women of all ages. Thank you, for allowing this. Just use your voice. And the thing is, you don't have to use your voice on a television or a broadcast like this. You can talk to the little girl next door. I run a Olympic type gymnastics program. I own a business for the last 20 years where I train, and all of our gymnasts are girls, young girls. And instead of telling them how bad they look and how they fail, they practice every night, 3 hours or more after school. And I tell them every day I spend 5 or 10 minutes. We have over 500 girls training. And every day those girls are told, you are the next surgeon. You are the next leader of your nation. You are the next CEO. You are the next great mother. You can go to any university you want if you work hard and you're disciplined with your life. And that I pour into them that they have greatness on the inside of them. So I'm just saying, wherever you turn in your life, there will be a young girl somewhere or an old girl like me. We have to inspire not just the young people, but I'll tell you, the people that are over 40 still have so much to give. And I would say, and there's sometimes where I just will text girls, or text women and say, how you doing? I believe in you. Is everything okay? Can I pray with you about anything? So it can be done in a variety of ways. And I try to do as much as I can, because it not only helps them, when you give of yourself to other people as a mentor, you feel good. So it's a win-win to be mentored and to mentor.
Yes, this thing you tell, you like, this is a great thing that we need to, love ourselves. Usually the females, those who are raising their kids, they forgot themselves and they are not giving attention. I always get inspired from you when I watch you, that you are maintaining yourself like you are like 17 or 18 years old, and that's great. Okay, so. And my next question is that as you talked about discipline, so how much discipline is important if you have to do a lot of things together? There are a lot of things that you are doing, and you're also raising your kids. So how you are maintaining discipline? So how your day gets started? That tell other females so that they also get discipline and they just start, because mostly the females, they are saying that they didn't get the time from their kids and from their household work. So how to maintain that discipline and balance?
That's actually, I would believe, the secret to accomplishing at least my goals. And it's the secret of your morning, your early morning. And when I had all the kids at home, and I still do this, you wake up before everyone else does. And the first thing I do is my morning routine. And I don't let anything stop my morning routine. Yes, as a mother, there's things that come up, but every morning I get up and the first thing I do is I go into prayer. I have to talk to God. I need his help every day. Inside of me, we have an invisible battery that has to be charged each day. that can only be done through inspiration. And for me, it's God. For other people, it might be something different, but I need that first and foremost to get my attitude right. The second thing I do is I put on my running shoes and I go for a run. I do it every day. I do it if it's hot outside. I do if it's cold. I went this morning, it was very hot. I run about 3 to 5 kilometers. I haven't joined a gym. I don't really have time to, drive somewhere and, do the gym stuff and drive back. And, I run for about 20 minutes and then I feel good. I feel better physically. I feel better emotionally. Uh, there's something about taking care of the physical body that God has given you. Nobody else can do it but you. And I make sure and I do that. And even if I'm in a different country, I still run Africa, everywhere I go, every day. And then when I get back from my run, I get out my piece of paper like this, and I write down the things I need to accomplish for that day. And I have to move things from yesterday that I didn't accomplish. I have to move yesterday's stuff to today. And you know what? About half of it, I don't want to do it. I don't. And that's where discipline comes in. And discipline is just doing things anyway when you don't want to. And it's not a fun word. Nobody likes it, but there is no shortcut to success. That's what I would have to say. You have to keep moving forward. Will every day be perfect? Will you be great every day? No, you won't. But you need to wake up the next morning and shake it off and start over, and don't be mad at yourself all day and just go again. Because God will give you a fresh start every day.
So, yes, and you told about your daily routine that you are like start with your prayer and then you notice everything on the paper, like what you have to do. You plan uh, ahead with that what you have to go throughout the day. So, my next question is that when you have mostly I watch your interviews, you were talking about strong work ethic that you never when you were in the university and you were you told that you were not so intelligent and at that age it was very difficult to study everything. So how you maintain that at work ethics, and how you have maintained that work ethic at home as well in your children's, how you ensure that you are maintaining those ethics both in the professional and your personal life?
When I walked into my first classroom at Harvard, I sat in the very back. I didn't feel worthy to be there. And as each student, who was very young compared to me, were introducing themselves, as the teacher had asked, their accomplishments were amazing. And so when they finally got to me, all I could say was, I'm just a mom of 11 kids and I coach gymnastics. And I thought I was really embarrassed about myself. And then I remembered during class that I was raised on a farm. I was raised around horses and cows and dirt and wheat farming. And that's where I learned to work hard. My parents worked hard and they taught me there's no shortcut. You have to work hard. And I thought to myself, now, Allyson, get it together, because you may not be the smartest person in the class and you may not have the accomplishments and you may not have the money, but you've got the work ethic and you can outwork everybody, because that is one thing you can control. I knew I could control my work ethic. That was it. So I decided this is the only way I can succeed, is I'm going to have to probably work twice as hard as everybody else to get the grades, but I'm going to do it. And it worked. And I graduated actually with, I don't know your grading system in Pakistan. I should have brought my Harvard transcript for you to see, but it's A, it's all A's. And for A's is the best you can do. There was no B's, there was no C's, it was A's. And that was a result of two things: hard work and amazing people in my life that stood by me as I would do papers and take tests that I didn't think I could take. They would say, "You can do it. I'm praying for you. You can finish." So those were the two things that really got me through, and that's the secret to success. It's hard work. Unfortunately, it doesn't sound fun.
That's great. Okay, now 25 minutes are over. My last question is that if you can give some advice, the whole journey that you have now just you have covered, and now what is the one thing that you want to tell, that one secret you want to tell to everyone if they have a lot of work to do, they have a lot of hardships they have to face, but still, what is the one thing that they should not leave that will help them to go forward in their lives?
You know, when you look at my life right now, it looks like I'm living, a fairy tale. That my life must have been privileged to be where I am today. But the fact is, when I began this journey of changing my life, I was at rock bottom in every area. I had zero money. I didn't have supportive family situation. I was again in a lot of emotional depression, and I was on the bottom with no hope for my future. And I just want everybody to know that you would think just because I'm in the United States that I have a better chance, or I have, it would have been easier. But the fact is, this kind of oppression on women is worldwide, and it's not limited to certain countries. Yes, it's different in different countries, but I just see that this is a common problem all over the world. And you have to rise up like a lioness and fight back in your heart. And you have to empower yourself. You have to encourage yourself. It's the only way to do it. And I have a magnet on my refrigerator, a sign on my refrigerator in my kitchen. And it says, "No one can stop you but yourself." And I believe a lot of people quit, not because of others telling them what they can't do or their circumstances. I believe right here in the brain, they stop, they quit, they don't finish. And I would just say to everybody, the secret to success to any woman around the world is just pure courage and fighting through your fears and just do it anyway. And I want you to live life with no regrets. I don't want you to die at 80 years old on your deathbed and think, "I could have done more." You don't have to live like that. You can do it. You really can. And you can live a life that you never dreamed if you just won't quit. Don't let anybody stop you.
Thank you so much, Allyson. It was a very nice interview. Nice to connect with you with this beautiful message that never quit, and you cannot change anyone except yourself. So I'm very thankful to you. You are not an inspiration for women in USA. Instead, you are inspiration for all the women all around the world. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. And I want to wish Pakistan a happy belated Independence Day. I'm 10 days late in wishing you a happy Independence Day, but you have a great country filled with great people. And it's been a privilege to be on the show today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.